I want to talk about something that I'm still learning myself. It's not a strategy, it's not a setup. It is the other skill in trading. It is sitting on your hands and doing absolutely nothing, and why everything in us fight against it. Welcome to Traders Empathy, where we explore the human side of trading. I'm your host, Precious. Trading is 20% strategy and 80% psychology, and on this channel we talk about the 80%, which has to do with you and I. And today I'm going to be talking about one of the hardest trading skills that nobody really talks about, which is doing nothing. The first point I'm going to make is why inactivity feels like failure. You see, many of us, we are wired in a way that we equate activity with progress. When we have something that we're doing, we feel like we're progressing and we feel like a sense of meaning that we're progressing. And when we don't have anything when we are doing nothing, we feel like we are failing, we feel like we are slowing down or we are behind. But trading is a completely different game. Even, in fact, the most active traders, the ones that are always jumping from setup to setup, that are always trading, they are often the most unprofitable ones. While the ones that are quietly waiting for a specific setup, that they trade with caution, they want to see specific things before they trade, and even if they have to wait for a while, they're the ones that are actually winning, that are actually growing their account steadily. But our brain does not operate in that way. It makes quiet days feel like wasted days. It makes week without trade feel like you're not really a trader. Here is what is actually happening when you feel the urge to trade, even when there's no setup. You are not feeling like there's an opportunity to trade. You're just feeling like a discomfort and stillness, and your brain is trying to resolve that discomfort by action, by doing something, anything at all, to just make you feel better. And that is not trading. That is emotional relief in disguise. And the market is happy to take your money for it. I backtested a particular instrument recently, which is US 30, from January to June this year. And can you guess how many times quality setup appeared in a month? On an average, let's just say 4 times. And there were weeks where there were no setup. There were months where there was no trade. And that is just how the system is designed. And you should know that inactivity does not mean that you're failing. It's just your system working exactly as it is designed. And you should not try to force action to I want to feel like I'm doing something, because at that point you're not really trading again. You're just trading your emotion. You're just trying to fill the void of inactivity. And I realized that the moment I start trading, taking setup that don't meet my criteria, just to feel busy, I know that I'm no longer trading my system. I'm just trading emotions. And lastly, I'm going to talk about how to build the skill of waiting, the skill of patience, the skill of not saying inactivity as failure. And I'm going to be mentioning 3 things that can help you build that skill. Number 1 is that refrain from looking at a no trade day as a failing day. There's no setup today. Maybe then I failed today. I wasn't able to trade today. Refrain from seeing it as failure and start seeing it as a win. There was no trade today, but at least I protected my capital. I didn't trade based on impulse, based on feeling. That is a win. There was no trade this week, but I still patient. I wasn't creatively creating new setup in my brain and doing all of that. That is also a win, right? The second point I'm going to make on how to build the skill is have something else that you pour your energy into on quiet days. For me, it's the brand, it's the community, it's this video, the content, and all that. For you, it could be anything, but find something else outside trading that just keeps you occupied on quiet days that are not set up, that just keep you occupied instead of being on your screen and creating what is not there. That is going to help. It could be like sporting activity, it could be like anything that fuels your fire. That just go there, just do that. And the last point I'm going to make under how to build a skill is track your patience. The same way you track your trade, the same way you lock down your trade, lock down your patience. Okay, today there was no trade, but I was patient. I didn't do anything based on impulse. Track it down. That patience is also an achievement. It is also an achievement. You don't see it like that, but it is. You protected your capital. You didn't do anything crazy. You didn't start clicking buttons because your hand was crashing you and you just feel like action was the next thing. Waiting, being patient, all those things, they are achievements. they are way more achievements than you think it is. I'm going to conclude by saying this. I'm still learning this, and I'm not going to pretend like I've mastered the art of sitting still when I feel the urge to click buttons. But there's one thing I know. Each time that I make a decision to patiently wait for my setup instead of forcing one, I am becoming a better trader. And not because I made money that day, but because I did what my plan said. And at the end of the day, that is what the whole game is about. Trading is 20% strategy and 80% you, and that 80% involves you knowing when to do absolutely nothing. We've come to the end of today's video, and I just want to say a very big thank you to all my viewers, my subscribers. Thank you for the love. I really love you guys. Thank you. Please do not forget to comment, subscribe, and share with your friends, and I'm going to see you next time.